Hey guys, I'm Dave,
I'm Catie.
and this is TV is Our Real Mom. This is our second podcast, and today, guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about Survivor again. Surprise.
It's a ramp up. We're ramping up to
Yeah, we're ramping up to
we're
the...
so over Big Brother that it's just, we got to focus on what's coming.
Yeah, Big Brother is
It was terrible last night.
kind of disappointing. So yeah, we're excited for the Survivor Second Chance, and we want to talk about a little more about it. We really dropped the ball on that first podcast. We forgot PG, we forgot Keith.
Which isn't hard to do, though.
Yeah, it really,
But
yeah.
what I thought was funny is the day after we did that, they announced the tribes and all the twists and everything.
Yeah, after we did that podcast, they announced all kinds of things all kinds of information we didn't have at that time.
Yeah.
So
a lot more of the question marks around that season have been removed.
Yes. And another thing, I want to set the record straight. I think I messed up. We were talking about Tom Westman.
Yeah.
I think
Guatemala
season
was
11 is Guatemala.
12 is Panama.
12 is Panama.
13 is Cook Island.
Yeah. So we messed up all kinds of stuff, and we made ourselves look like we're not Survivor historians, but
So we
really
apologize
are.
to Survivor super fans because that was a blunder.
Yeah, that was just atrocious. All right, but anyways, what are we going to talk about?
We're just going to talk about the tribes and just run through some scenarios, see maybe who might team up and who won't.
Yeah, I like it. So why don't you kick it off?
Okay. we don't really know much about pre-game alliances. Apparently Jeff Varner had a lot. So we're just going to go with our own thoughts on who we think should team up, why, and how that might pan out.
Okay.
So.
And I'm more like the kind of person who watches the show. I'm like the average Joe watcher the average Joe.
Average Joe.
Who watches and is definitely tricked by whatever the editors are trying to trick us. I usually fall for that. So
yeah,
I'll probably be that point of view in this. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, then let's start with should I just list off both tribes, or should we list off one and then...
Why don't we just start with one tribe and then we can go to the other one?
Okay. Well, we'll start with the Bayonne tribe, or Bayonne. Not quite sure how you say it.
Bayonne.
Bayonne, you have Joe. Jeremy. Sierra. Stephen Fishback. Tasha. Kimmy. Cass. Keith. Monica. And Andrew Savage.
Okay, that's a lot of people on one tribe.
It's 10 on each
10?
tribe because
That's
there's
10.
20 people. So there's going to be some double whammy episodes this year.
Is this the first time? I would say Heroes Villains is probably the last time they had a 20-person.
Could be. I'd have to.
I don't think they've had 20 people on Survivor since Heroes Villains, and it was also 10 on 10.
Yeah.
5 names were heroes and villains.
Very close.
Yeah. So where do you want to start on this tribe?
I think we should just talk about, on the surface level, from what we know, who we think should work together and why.
Is this like we think they should work together because like we want them to work together, or
idiot just crossing the road?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, people gotta do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
So
who we think should work together strategically, like why they should team up strategically.
Okay.
That's, they probably won't because they never do the obvious thing, but...
Okay, well, the obvious one for me, I guess I'll kick it off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I like interrupting and taking over conversations. So, I right away think of Jeremy in his interview talking about, he said he wanted to surround himself with strong players, strong athletic types like himself. And so he sounds like he's going to team up with Joe and Andrew Savage. And I actually think it's good for his game because out of those 3 guys, I think he would be the last of the 3 to be targeted. So I think it's a good strategy for him to team up with those guys, just to surround himself with strong guys that they can go after those guys first. Might buy him a couple weeks and he might make the merge by the time.
Or a swap.
Or a swap. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
No, I think the alpha male trio is definitely going to happen. I think Andrew Savage will probably emerge as the leader of that trio because both Joe and Jeremy have been burned by being viewed as leaders before.
Yes.
And Andrew Savage seems like he doesn't give a shit. He just wants to be the leader.
It's just who he is. He's going to act that way.
And he's older too, so I feel like, I don't know how old he is, but he's older than most of the people there, so he's going to be like a father alpha.
Yeah, and alpha's alpha.
Yeah. So I think those three will be together, but they need more people if they're gonna not just get picked off because they're the clear targets other than Fishback. I think Fishback's
need more numbers obviously because it's. I mean, if they actually vote, if they can all get on the same page, you need 6 to vote somebody out.
Who could that trio pull in from their tribe?
That's what I was wondering, and I really don't know. I mean, let's step away from that for a second and talk about one alliance I saw potentially being formed based on, like I said, the editing that the producers were showing us that could be total just bait for us to assume things that aren't actually happening. That would be Stephen Fishbach, Cass, and Sierra are shown a lot like talking to each other, and it looks like they could very well be, well, even if they're not strategizing and even if it is pregame and stuff, I mean, you can tell they're just like drawn to each other because maybe they're not getting along with anyone else or whatever. They seem to be like getting along, or it's forming some kind of bond. So what if those three, can you see those three being in an alliance?
I can see those three. I can see Sierra and Fishback definitely. Cass, no one's really going to want to work with her because she's Chaos Cass.
She's going to be gone.
You cannot trust her.
She's probably going to be gone right away anyways.
So I feel like it's risky to team up with her, but just for numbers wise, you might have to at least for a week or so.
Yeah.
And Steven might sense immediately that those 3 major dudes are gunning for him. So he might
going right for those girls.
Cling to Cass right out of desperation.
Yeah.
Where do you see Tasha falling into this?
I have no idea. Because I mean, like Tasha, that leaves. That's what I was gonna say. Is that leaves 4 other people.
Tasha's not working with Cass.
No, she's not. She said she won't. But
she's gonna probably gun for Cass right away.
Yeah. So you got Tasha, Monica, or the other Kimmy, and
Monica. I think could go with Fishbach because she's gonna see Joe and all those guys as threats.
Yeah.
So I think she'll drift towards the Fishbach side of things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Kimmy. I don't know much about Kimmy, so I'm
Kimmy's
not sure
going to be more
falls.
drawn to Andrew Savage, simply for the age and the veterans, the
I
the
feel
old
like she
school
might be
players,
swayed by the beautiful dudes,
and also the old school players. She's going to be drawn to Andrew Savage, I feel like.
Yeah.
What else you got for the who's the 4th person?
Keith. Where is Keith gonna go?
Keith, I could see him siding with the strong guys.
Yeah.
Because he's like that kind of guy. He's not even thinking about strategy. He's just going to be like.
Plus, he's got the Jeremy connection.
Yeah, and he knows Jeremy, so he's going to want to bro down with those guys, I think. So.
Yeah.
So
but that's not smart because if he does, actually maybe it is smart because they're going to go after each other before they go after Keith because they'll team up out of necessity immediately, but working together too long, they'll see any of these other 2 guys could beat me in the end. So.
Yes.
So I don't think that's an alliance that's made to go the distance.
Okay. So, where do the numbers fall in your imagination?
The way we're looking at it, it kind of looks like the numbers fall to Jeremy and Joe and the Alphas.
Yeah, from what we just said, it sounds like that's how it works out.
But, no, I mean, Jeremy's smart. I don't know. We didn't see much from Joe strategically, so I don't know how smart he is. And Savage, I mean, I'm not sure how good he is at persuading people. Fishbach, and as much as it pains me to say it, Sierra might be more intellectually able to convince others, and Cass, that it's in their best interest to eliminate a strong man.
Yeah, like they're better strategic talkers, convincer, that kind of gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean,
there's gonna be some people up for grabs. So I'm not sure Keith will want to go with Jeremy. I'm not sure Tasha will want to, just use her hatred for Cass to make a dumb decision. I don't know. So she might save Cass for a later. But I think Cass's pre-game sell to everyone was, all my former castmates hate me, so please work with me. So I don't think she's going to be eager to jump on board with any of her Kagayan folks.
And that's like Tasha and...
Tasha, but Spencer and Wu are on the other side.
Yeah, they're on the other side, so... So Tasha's the one, she's like, I ain't working with Tasha. Tasha doesn't want to work with her, so...
Right.
So where the numbers fall, if they fell in the favor of Jeremy and the Strongman Alliance, I mean, who do you got? You got Jeremy... Joe, Savage.
We thought Keith might go with them.
Keith will bro down. Kimmy will go to Savage.
And Tasha, maybe just to be on the opposite side of Cass.
Yep, so that's 6.
So that's 6 on
And who do they vote out?
Cass or Steven?
Steven Fishbach. I'd say Cass.
I think
everyone's gunning for Cass.
Because she's such a wild card.
Yeah.
You cannot... There's no way you know what she's going to do.
So first person voted out on that tribe would likely be Cass. Chaos Cass.
Yeah. And that's a smart move for them.
Who do they vote out of the strong guys if the other side gets the numbers?
I think Joe will probably go first. Because you could have...
That's exactly what I think.
Fishbach, Cass, and Sierra. Could pull Monica. And, they could talk to Keith. Keith is easily swayed.
Yeah.
They could get Keith, and then it's Tasha. It's just whether or not she's willing to work with Cass, even for just a week, to get the numbers.
Right.
Because once you get rid of one person, you can go down to a 5-person alliance and get rid of Cass. I mean, it's stupid to get rid of any numbers that early in the game, but...
Yep.
I don't know.
I say stick to the plan.
Yeah. It just depends on which plan Keith is going to go with.
Yeah, I don't know which plan he's going to stick to, but he's going to stick to the plan. That's what he's going to do.
Keith is just, I can't believe he made it. I'm still in awe that he made it. I mean, he's very sweet, and he did very well in some challenges.
He's a challenge beast, man. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, don't
forget about that. Because like if he probably will go deep into the game, and he might actually like win challenges. Keith, winner of Survivor Second Chance.
That'd be so sad. I'd be so upset if that's how this season.
If he wins challenges, I'm all for it.
But he's not good.
Yeah, he doesn't even know how to play.
He's the kind of first-time player that goes far.
Yeah.
And he comes back and he realizes, what the hell, that it was just a blind luck thing.
Yeah, we like strategy, so Keith would be kind of a letdown of a winner. But anyways, let's move on to the next tribe and talk about that a little bit.
Next tribe is Takeo.
Takeo.
So
like George Takeo?
Yeah, that's what Rob
Rob already said that.
Podcast.
Sorry,
It's all right.
Rob.
It's all right. It's the first thing you think of, George Takeo.
I steal Rob's jokes all the time. That's what I do.
Okay, so you have Vetus.
Spencer.
Terry Dietz. Abby Maria. Woo. PG. Shireen. Jeff. And then Kelly Wentworth and Kelly Wigglesworth. They did not split up the Kellyworths.
The Kelly W.
They're going to have to call them Wigglesworth and Wentworth. That's just what they're going to have to call them.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking you could very well see them call one Wiggles and the other one Went.
Yeah.
Wiggles Wentworth.
Or they could just say Kelly and Wiggles. Because Wiggles is fun to say, and there can still be a Kelly.
Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah, so what do you got?
This one, it isn't as clear cut. I don't know where to fall on this one. I had one theory that Vetus and Spencer will band together. And
also, what about Vetus and Terry? There's a connection
Vetus and Terry are connected through Aris, whatever his dumb name is. I don't know.
Because it's Aris. Maybe...
Sometimes people say Otis.
Yeah, maybe he goes by Otis, but...
Spell your name with a D if it's Otis.
Your name is Aris,
The whole season of Panda, he was Aris. He can't suddenly be Otis.
Yeah, so his name is Aris. He played with Terry Dietz in season 12, Panama.
Terry Dietz almost beasted his way to the end, but he couldn't quite win one, so...
And so Aris' brother Vetus is playing, and so they kind of have a connection there. And Terry Dietz in an interview, pre-game interview, said that he likes Vetus and he might want to work with him. But that could all be BS too. I don't know. But yeah, let's say Terry and Vetus like each other. They're going to work together. And let's say Spencer is...
I think Spencer will drift towards Vetus. He said he's wary of him, but he also sees the value of working with him. Because this interview I saw was clearly before they knew the tribes. So...
Yeah, Spencer's just going to be drawn to a guy like Vetus.
Yeah.
I think he won't even be able...
He said they have a rapport.
Yeah, he won't even be able to help it.
I think Vetus has kind of a rapport with everyone.
Yeah.
It's just his...
He's dangerous,
thing.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, he is dangerous.
That guy's dangerous.
So I actually think those three might team up.
Yeah, so what else you got? Is there another potential thing? What about maybe like an outcast girl kind of thing, like Shireen and PG?
Shireen and PG's smart.
Shireen, sorry, I don't know how to say her name.
I think it's Shireen.
Shireen and PG. At least I didn't say Phoebe, like Keith.
You did say Phoebe.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Oh, check it out, there's like a horse and buggy over there.
Neat.
That's how you know you're in North Dakota.
We're not in North Dakota, we're in Minnesota.
Oh, that's how you know you're in Minnesota. I don't even know what state I'm in.
So, there's a lot of question marks on this tribe. I think you can see some of the girls teaming up, like Shireen and PG and the Kellys. They might see the value of sticking together, because they're all very smart. I think Abby Marie is not one to work with girls. As much as she may have realized her mistakes the first time around, I think she's just
I feel like she's said a lot in her interviews, her pregame interviews, about kind of where she stands, and I kind of forgot what she said, but...
I haven't watched a lot of her pregame, or any of her pregame stuff.
She said something.
I can't really stand her, but...
What did she say?
Did she say she wanted to work with the girls?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think
Hers is a good, if you can find that, I think it's like a CBS exclusive interview or something. You might have to sign up for that all access thing to see it.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure they will release all those interviews like before the season starts. It's just trying to get people to get in on the all access thing or whatever. But yeah, hers is worth watching because I think she tells a lot about where she kind of stands on things. Unfortunately, I can't really remember what she said because I didn't watch. I'm not a fan of her, so.
Yeah.
But anyways,
well, what do you think about those girls teaming up? Do you think that's a possibility?
PG is Shireen for sure, but I think Wigglesworth personally is more likely to team up with like Vetus and Spencer and Terry.
Well, what about Jeff Varner? Because he's season 2.
Jeff Varner.
She's season 1, and he apparently had pregame alliances with everyone.
And Wigglesworth was one of them, from what I heard.
Wigglesworth was one of them. But Varner also said they need to take out Spencer.
Yeah.
So I don't see them falling on the same side of that coin. So, if, you know...
As much as I love Jeff Varner, and I love his game, and I want to watch him play a lot, but I think people are wary of him. His like snarkiness kind of turns people off.
Well, and they're gonna, if he did have pregame understandings with everyone, that's gonna come out.
Yeah.
And people are gonna be like, well, screw this guy. Let's just get rid of him. He's causing all kinds of unnecessary trouble.
He's either gonna rock it or he's like in trouble away.
I can see him being boot number 1 on this tribe.
For sure. And that would suck because I actually really want to see Jeff Varner like play this game because he's just fun to watch. I mean, I think his interviews were my favorite of all of them.
Yeah, he's definitely got something in his interviews that most of the other people don't have. And I wouldn't want to see him go
funny,
first.
you know, like you gotta have some funny guys.
Some cooler people.
Yeah, so what else? I mean,
I don't know about Wu. Where do you see Wu falling in this?
Wu is just like your total floater, man. Like,
yeah, but
he'll float. He'll just float.
Do you think he'll team up with Spencer? Because Spencer apparently, now that I've watched the pregame stuff,
have you heard that they get along? Or?
No, I just remember at Final Tribal, Spencer called him a dog.
Yeah, well, like a puppy dog
Not like
Tony around.
Like a bad guy dog, but like he just did whatever he was told.
He's a puppy dog that follows Tony around.
And that's not an inaccurate description of Wu.
Not at all, but Wu is probably too dumb to realize that that was an insult.
And too forgiving and good-natured.
He is a good-natured guy, yeah.
So I don't think he's going to hold that against Spencer. So.
But do those guys even, like, click enough or get along enough? I mean, because these things do come into play in Survivor, even though you got everyone playing with their head or whatever, but these things It's just nature. You can't help it. Like,
I mean, even
I don't know if they click enough for them to like work together, honestly. But Wu will just go wherever the wind blows, honestly.
That's true.
Yeah.
But even, you know, if you didn't necessarily get along or click, I feel like that is such a strong connection to have gone to all the way to the Final Four together that you can't discount it.
Living on a beach together for 39 days,
I don't think you can just throw it out the window and be like, oh, they didn't get along.
That's true.
But they know each other.
So if Wu picks a side early on, well, he'll float. At the end of the day,
Wu is gonna be so drawn to Vetus.
Yeah.
They're like gonna be bros.
Yeah,
like,
they're gonna bro down for sure. This season's gonna be a lot about broing down, I think.
Maybe,
I hope
maybe
not.
Girling down.
I hope the chicks team up, because the chicks, we got some
This
cool
tribe
chicks.
has a lot of potential because Shireen, PG, and both Kellys are super smart.
Yeah.
And strategic, and I think it would behoove them.
All four of those could work together.
And if they got Varner, but that's still only 5, you need one more. They could pull Abby Maria.
Okay, I think I remember something Abby Maria said. She wants to work with guys because she's attracted to them. She thinks Wu.
She's so dumb.
She thinks Wu is the hottest guy out there. So Abby Maria will probably want to work with Wu, just based on the interview.
And it depends on Wu, where Wu goes. We don't. But I think he'll go with Vetus. Yeah, I can see Abby Maria totally screwing over the girls, as she's wont to do.
Yeah, they'll try to get a girl thing going, but I mean all those girls know Abby Maria is not to be trusted. I don't think they'll trust her.
Yeah, they should maybe get those 4 girls Varner. 4 girls Varner. But that's still only 5. They'll need one more dude.
Well, you could always lock.
Terry maybe, but Terry's not a lock for Vetus and Spencer.
No, and you could always lock at 5 and then roll the dice, see what happens.
That's very dumb.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, somebody will flip.
Somebody.
It's too early. I mean, they won't draw rocks that early.
So it's funny, it seems like kind of a similar situation on both tribes, how we're thinking it will play out, and that these male alliances. Obviously on the Bayon tribe, it's more alpha male strong guy stuff, and the guys on the Takeo tribe, I give more credit to them intellectually, except no, all Spencer, Vetus, and Terry are all pretty smart, I think.
Does that just mean we're stupid and we're going for the obvious alliances?
Probably.
Like, are we just dumb and we're like, we can't think any deeper than there's the guys are gonna team up together,
but that's
the
not
girls are gonna team up together.
That's not our main criteria though for this, is it?
There's sex?
Yeah, because Vetus and Terry,
I don't think so. I'm
connection.
just like kind of second guessing, like once you mentioned those similarities there, I'm like, are we just being dumb here, or
maybe? Well, what are some unorthodox pairings?
Possibilities?
Yeah.
Like this would be a great spot for me to have one already in mind, but I don't. So why don't you look at the list, and you could probably pick one out.
Or not pairing.
On that first tribe we talked about, how about on Bayonne? One that could actually maybe happen. Yeah.
Sierra could go. Sierra wants Joe and those strong guys gone. So I think we're on the money with Sierra and Steven teaming up.
Yeah.
Cass, we don't know.
Yeah.
Cass, we don't know. I mean, beautiful men, because Cass already called Joe Beautiful Joe. And sometimes go with what your ovaries tell you and not what your head tells you. And so maybe she'd go with Joe.
I can't see her doing that though.
No.
Yeah.
But you know, it's Chaos Cash. She could do something completely out of left field like that.
She's probably smart enough to know that you keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Yes.
So if Joe's her enemy, maybe she
would
teams up with Joe.
But it's dumb to align with.
Yeah, that is dumb.
But if you are aligned with a group of targets, you're at the bottom.
So I feel like we got Bayonne nailed down. So let's see if we can find an unlikely alliance on the what tribe was that again?
Takeo.
The Takeo, yeah.
I mean, you could see something like Vetus and a Kelly.
Wigglesworth or Wentworth?
Wentworth.